with our first keynote session on topic Reimagining, Reskill and Reinvent L&D 2025. And for the same, I would like to invite Mr. Amarendra Nath Mishra, Group CHR. So giving a brief, he holds 22 plus years of experience and has worked with various industries such as engineering, automotive, FMCG and telecom. He is a keen communicator with the ability to relate to people across hierarchy levels in organization while spearheading the talent management, talent acquisition and talent development strategies and leveraging individual development plans. Please welcome Mr. Amrendra with a huge round of applause.
Good morning, everyone. The sound is not loud enough. L&D professionals, HR guys rather. Good morning, everyone. It's a morning session, boss. The lunch is yet to come. The evening is going to be fascinating. My name is Amrendra Mishra. I'm really honored to be here on this session, Reimagine, Reskill, Reinvent. As an HR guy, having 22 years of experience, but what happened 2 years back, it really left all of us, including me, what to do. Are we on the same page? March 2020 and April 2020, we had no idea how the business will run. My guys are on the street. How will they generate revenues? What will happen? Nobody's going to office. Yeah. And that virus was Corona. Everything was stuck. We were sitting at home. And were we imagining or reimagining? Nothing. We were kind of in a state of shock. Slowly and slowly, human minds never sit idle. We started thinking. We all are thinking, and we saw some of the outcomes. We are still in the school phase. मैं क्यों लिखूं? 2 लोग लिख देंगे. तो 3 लोगों ने लिख दिया. Exactly, I wanted to know the same thing from this session also. How do I make my organization future fit organization? But I will not write. Let others write. Thanks for 3-4 people who wrote the expectations. I think I am also here to get the same answer as an HR folk. What pandemic did to us, and good to see faces around smiling, and that Zoom call is over now. At least we are meeting face to face, interacting. That human touch, no matter how digitized you are, the human touch should not go away. Yeah. With this Corona times, pandemic, what happened? There is a gap between what we had and we wanted to do. Because things had changed, normal ways of business were becoming obsolete for that period. We wanted to know some certain solutions, how to enable our people to do more business. And somebody who is doing it will take the upper hand. And therefore, the role of L&D became very, very crucial. Very, very crucial. What is there to reimagine, reskill, and reinvent? We all had to look at our policies and procedures. Did we change? Somebody talked about hybrid model, creating hot desks, looking at each and every role, which role is critical to the market, which role can do a job sitting at home, and some roles can come to office off and on. We all did that exercise, right? We started imagining, reimagining as to there are now, earlier there was one set of people that we were catering to. Now there are multiple level of people that we need to cater. That was the difference. Then reskill. Now the question was, how do I reskill? One lady gave an example people like us, हमारे ज़माने में ऐसा होता था. Yeah, we are suffering from the syndrome. In the interviews, we try to find out a like me syndrome. अगर उसने मेरे जैसा आंसर नहीं दिया, he is not good for the organization. So like me syndrome affecting us every day. But we think this is the best idea this is the best way to train our people. No more. No more. So during the day, I think all of us will learn what are the different ways of training our people. Different set of people. One shoe fits all no longer is going to work. We need to have personalized training programs, personalized inputs. And there, the role of L&D is again very, very critical. Do I do for a group or do I do it for individuals? Do I do it for teams which are not in sync or not correlated, or I do a focused team-based training programs? How do I risk it? Because there is a gap. What happened was people sitting at home, in the market, they were not enabled to do the business. And thereby there is a gap we were not used to that kind of environment. Right? Reinvent. We need to look at our structures. More hierarchy, less hierarchy, flat. Yeah. Make it more employee friendly, digital. Less of time. People are busier than ever now because there is a pressure. Now, business is not for charity, by the way. Business is for business. The top line matters, the bottom line matters. And therefore, we matter. We need to look at our structures. Creating a hybrid model, it's a buzzword now. People are thinking which function, which role need to be away from the office, need to be in the office, can come to office off and on. All that is giving you a hint as to look at your structures. I'm sure during the day somebody will touch upon all this and give us more idea. What are some of the things which are trending now? I'm sure for the last 2 years, online training is picking the ground, right? Way back in 2020 when this happened, we were in a shock what to do. We have 5-6 businesses. People are spread across the country, not able to connect with them. Yeah. Still, the business has to grow. And there is a pressure. So the solution, thanks to the digitized world, which was like 3 years back, it's okay, we will do it slowly and slowly. Now it's a necessity. It's picking up the ground. As I said, people are busier than ever, less time. The big training modules, 1 hour, 2 hours modules, kills the interest of the person who is taking the training. So rather than having a bigger module, can you create smaller bit-sized training capsules? Give it to him. It takes 10-15 minutes, very focused. He understands. And there are various ways of doing it. You can gamify it. Now, gamification of training is not a new concept, but it's now picking up. Why? Because earlier, most of us, if we worked in the organizations where code of conduct, you can say anti-bribery, treatment of each other at workplace, are some of the trainings which were on the gamification. Now, we had long back implemented, 3-4 years back in my earlier organization, where we gamified the incentive scheme on a platform, sales incentive scheme. Created a competition. People got benefited. Now it's picking up. Because then it takes lesser time. It engages the person quickly. He finishes, he understands, and he is on the job. So that's bit-sized training modules will work better. Employee well-being is at the core of the training. Has to be yes or no. All of us feel, right? All of us had sessions during pandemic and post-pandemic also. The after effect is not yet over. It's there. I think we had almost how many sessions of well-being during COVID and post-COVID? Not less than 100. Ashish, correct me if I'm wrong. For the people who are working from home, we deliberately picked up timings like 2:30 or 3:30. That was when people used to sleep. HR guys are smarter, you know. I said, keep them awake. There is a purpose. One, you really show that you're concerned about that person. Second, you are connecting with him that this is not a leisure time for you. You still need to work. Because work from home has also left us with a lot of non-productive workforce. Sorry to say that, but it is the reality. Diversity and inclusion is important than ever. An inclusive workforce has yielded better results. I mean, you go through LinkedIn, you go through any this thing. The data shows the companies who have embedded the D&I policies in a better way are in a better positions nowadays. Earlier, 4 years back, 5 years back, only the progressive companies had D&I policies well drafted, well implemented. And that point in time people thought, it's good to have. People forgot that it is must to have. Now, diversity should not always be construed as gender diversity. No. Diversity means beyond that. Gender diversity is one of the components. If you have an inclusive workforce, I think whether your team, your function, your business is going to have better results. Focus on building learning ecosystems. There are, I think all of us from the HR space, learning and development space, talent management space, we know what kind of ecosystem is available outside. We have, the solutions are available in the market. You talk about LMS, you post your requirement on a platform, you will have 20 inquiries, right? You talk about, I want LXPs, they'll give you, they'll bombard you. हमारे पास ये है, हमारे पास वो है. Before the answer that what ecosystem I need to create, I need to do a deep dive. What is my status? Where are we? What is the gap? In the buffet, everything is available. What do I want for my business? And then creating an ecosystem which is connected with the business. Because L&D in isolation, all of us in isolation cannot work. How do I create an ecosystem where there is a win for the employee, there is a win for the business, there is a win for the entire ecosystem? That's very important. Social learning is picking up nowadays, collaboration and social learning. I mean, earlier, people were very conservative in sharing, right? Oh, I know, only I should know this. And thereby I create my USPs. Was no longer. Days are gone. Everything is available on internet with your finger touch. So it's better that you share. Now, social learning, how it impacts? It creates a better team. it creates collaboration between the team members. And who doesn't know, if the team is united, synergy is there, collaboration is there. So social learning, promote your employee. Pick up, promote your employee who has gone through some training to become social change agent, and share those learnings with the team members, with the company at large. That helps, and that helps in a big way. I was talking about reinvent and redesign learning experiences platforms. Yeah. LMS, LXPs, experiences platforms. What did I mean? LXP is nothing but next gen LMS. It connects you with the host of people doing the same learning. You can interact. So the interaction is very, very important. Earlier, in the old model of training, I had a training, and then the trainer is connecting with me as per the schedule. By the time he connects, I have forgotten the half of the training. Now it's the real time. You get into a training, you know that there are 10 more people going through the same training programs. So sharing is there. But then it depends, as I said, do a dipstick as to whether what kind of requirement that my business has. Micro learning platforms. As I said, the bit size training module is picking up. It's very, very important. Don't make it large. Now, everything large doesn't matter. Only with soda. Yeah. But training has to be smaller. You see, I mean, a lot of input that we also receive on WhatsApp or on the Insta and all, we don't watch the entire thing. We are in a rush to go to the outcome. Right? And if it is boring one, we just press the button and say, forget it. So your employees are no different than what we are. How do I create that inquisitiveness? How do I maintain that engagement? Is only possible through micro level, bit-sized training programs. Learning analytics tools, very, very important. For all those who are sitting here as talent management and ODU professionals, is the time. I was talking about the personalized, training programs, career management. You have the analytics tools available. I am sure during the day somebody will throw light on all these things as to how do I arrive to a data and get to know who are the people of my company need what kind of training. Is the requirement of the time in years to come. Because time is flying, your business needs your support. There, by using the techniques and the tools, you can find the skill gap, provide the training, enable the person to take up higher roles, and thereby all those retention and reward and career management will fall through. How do we do that? Review your learning strategy and understand what are my strengths and what are my weaknesses. I don't think I need to dwell much upon it. This will only give you where are we, what is the as is, and where do we want to go, including the kind of scenario that we are into. You never know tomorrow what happens. I mean, if not COVID, something else will hit us back, because nobody imagined COVID will hit us in such a way. Make learning a core organization value. Important? How many of you agree that learning should be made a core organizational values? All of us. Thank you so much. Have you seen anywhere, any company where, I would like to know from you, sir. Please, is there a mic? Can we hand over the mic to the person? How did you do that? And what benefit are you drawing out of it?
Thanks. First of all, Mr. Mishra, great presentation. Thank you very much. Looking forward to the rest of it. I think your question was twofold. One was, have you seen an organization that has learning as its core? Right? I've seen a couple. One was my erstwhile organization, which is JECIS or Genpact now, in that BPO sector. I think that's one organization which is known for producing leaders, known for its learning culture, going back to GE, Crottonville, and some of those things. So one is that. I think the second one is an organization which I'm fortunate to be a part of. So along with Amit, both of us and my team, we work at an organization called Midland Credit Management. And we'd like to believe that learning is one of our core values. And we're sort of fortunate to have an environment both from the MD, the larger organization, where as long as you can show an ROI, and ROI always is extremely important. Money is not for free, right? So as long as you can show that, whether it comes to time, it comes to investment, it comes to resources, that will follow. So at some point in time, maybe you and I can catch up, but love to talk about how we've structured our first-time learning manager programs. We are doing some cutting-edge work on how do we bring in technology to bolster cognitive learnings across operations, across leadership, across a few other things. And that's why in your previous slide, I was certainly interested in the learning analytics. How are you looking at that? How are you implementing that? What are some of the tools that come in? How can I use that for my succession planning? And a few other things out there. So I think two organizations at least, which I've been a part of, and I haven't been a part of too many, I'll confess. There are just three. But these are two places where I've certainly seen, as long as you can show ROI, that part gets invested. And that comes from that culture where right from the corner office, someone believes that a good HR L&D strategy is the key to actually having successful talent being attracted, that talent being motivated, retained, and then reskilled, upskilled, reimagined to what you're saying. So I think those are my 2 cents on that. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much. Give him a big round of applause. It was wonderful. Now, the point I was trying to make is, if we make learning a values, one of the values, how does it impact? What change will it bring? Anyone? Yes, Ashish. All right, that's one. Very good. Any other aspect? Don't worry, he is loud enough. He's a trainer. Yes, ma'am, please. You are audible, perfectly audible. At least to me, others I don't know. Sure.
For the organizational values, we certainly have one of our core values, which is people development and collaboration. So when we talk about people development, we totally believe in this. And on the first day when the employee joins to the organization at the time of induction, we invest a lot into it, as in we make the people understand that why is it important for all of us present here. Because with the changing times, we all have to be equipped with the latest changes happening in the environment, the dynamics, and very important that for an individual development plan, they all should know that what are their short-term goals, what are their long-term goals, and how are they supposed to achieve it. So we really, want our employees that they should reach out to their manager and ask them that how do I, train myself, how do I make myself be ready and prepared for the next coming years. So we definitely dwell upon it, and it's one of our organization's core values.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
a value, that means everybody share that. Then only becomes the value for the organization. I believe and the other people doesn't believe, doesn't make it as a value for the organization. That means everybody share that value of the organization. And when I share the value of the organization, that means everybody believes in it. And if everybody believes that learning is important for the organization, for their growth and for the organization growth, then everybody drives that. And it is not, the time has come now that the organization have to come out that it's not training or learning is not all about training departments responsibility. It's a shared responsibility of the entire organization to drive it for the benefit of the organization and for the benefit of the people in the organization.
Rightly said. Yes.
I'm from Max Life Insurance. We have about 16,000 employees. There are three benefits that we've seen from making learning as part of our value system. We have a value called growth mindset, which comprises of curiosity to learn and hungry to perform. We've seen three benefits. One, we've been able to hire one of the best talents in the market because people want to come and join an organization where they will learn and grow. And this is something that our employees tell us when we ask them, why have you come to Max Life? We are not the best paymasters, but we definitely develop a person. The second is, we've seen people retaining with us even during some of the worst times. People stay with us because they believe that what they will get in Max Life, not every organization believes in that and they will get outside. And the third is, we've been able to drive innovation during the last 2-3 years because of the culture of learning. We believe that if employees don't learn and if you don't create an ecosystem to promote learning, encourage learning, people will not find new solutions to existing problems. So these are three benefits that we as an organization we are already getting in addition to what some of the other people have shared.
Well said. Well thought. Thank you so much. In case the values, one of the values is learning, the biggest change happens is anything that the company do, learning becomes the way of doing things. And hence, entire things follows through. I'll tell you why. If learning is embedded in your ways of doing things, then the social learning will automatically become part of it. Whatever you learn, you want to share, right? And there are enough and more digital platforms available nowadays that you can share those learnings, and a person sitting remotely around the globe can access that. I would request all of us, those do not have, to have learning as one of the core values of the organization. Make training accessible. I have been given a warning, 2 minutes. It's not like when the person is hungry, you are trying to ask him, what do you want? No. It should be in the, as I said, if learning is in the core values, if learning has a continuous journey, continuous process, make it accessible. Learning in the hiring process. A lot of HR professionals are also here. What it tells? It tells that right from the hiring and onboarding stage, there is a commitment from the company's side that we care for your development. Career development is a serious matter in this organization. And for doing that, learning is in the hiring process. Integrate learning into daily routine. In one of the companies, we wanted to people to get into the learning mode. We started a very small thing, almost 7-8 years back. We created Learning Thursday. We said, no work for 2 hours. Nobody will work. The sky is not going to fall. Your RMS will not go down. Your top line, bottom line will not be affected in case you're solid. 2 hours, you read anything you want to read. We gave them that freedom. People started reading. And after a month, they started using LMS. They started going to the modules and completing it and sharing it that I have done it. We picked up a lot of internal trainers from there. And that social learning, which is now being talked about, was done 8 years back. How do we create artistic content for learners' engagement? Look for ways to deliver values. Research frequently asks questions. Nowadays, everybody is well equipped. Deep analysis with the analytics. Look at industry publications. See what is trending. Nowadays, what is trending is, everybody is talking about AI, ML, VR, AR. What will it do to me is very important. If I don't have a problem of that sort, I do not need to go for. But will it help my organization is also very important. It should not be a buzzword that there is a race going on and I have to be in that race. See what is trending, as I said. Identify common myths in your niche. Consider a contest of giveaway. Use surveys to learn more. And the survey, you have your own set of people. You don't need to go outside for doing those surveys. And in the haste of making everything digitized, I would urge and request everyone, communicate personally. That personal touch. Even on digital platforms, there are features available that gives you a feel of being personal with an employee. Rather than seeing the change from the shore, facilitate change. Because somebody who is undergoing the change is shaky. You need to be with him or her. Ensure that the change happens in the right manner for the betterment of the organization and the person. Encourage digital literacy. There is no second thought on that. Prioritize tasks. Manage ambiguity. A lot of ambiguity is there. We all have gone through that phase of ambiguity when COVID struck us and still facing that ambiguity stage. A lot of startups, companies have come. Those who are settled, they have laid down processes, but then ambiguity is every day on our plate. Be innovative. We are innovative, right? We have come through a long way in last 2.5 years. We couldn't have traveled this journey had COVID been not there. I'm not saying COVID was a boon, but yes, in a way, it has led us to another discovery. And in the process, when we create the L&D platforms, one thing is very important. Don't lose that empathy and love for the people. Yeah. Glorify the gamification. Why? Because, as I said, people do not have much time. They love small things, crisp learning, and move on. Keep changing, keep thinking, how can I do it better? Once done, I cannot sit on laurels and saying, okay, this is done, I'm happy with it. We need to challenge the design, keep innovating things. Ability to cope up with ambiguity, we just talked about. 1 second. Understand the business ecosystem. I have been harping on this. Unless I understand the business, neither I can hire right talent, nor I can nurture right talent, nor I will be able to yield better results for the organization. No matter, I'll keep harping on. I have given n number of trainings to my people. These are the man hours, these are the man trainings. I have LXPs, I have LMS, I have AI, ML, VR, IR, and everything, and metaverse as well. But then, if the business is not growing, there's no use. I need to understand what my business want. Leverage data analytics. I think big data science has taught us. Performance consulting. Now performance measuring, performance management, now performance consulting. You need to really consult the person continuously. Yeah. And finally, the new internet of the world, where the virtual world is taking a next leap, is metaverse. Everything will change, and I think has to change, because change is the only thing which is permanent. With this, I would expect that during the day we all will learn something, and whatever questions or expectations are raised on the flip chart will be answered by the speakers during the day. All the best, all of you. Thank you so much.